Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. How are you? How's everything? The lesson today is about solve time problems, which is 10-5. Before we start, you should know these points. That 1 hour equals 60 minutes, 1 day equals 24 hours, 1 week equals 7 days, and 1 year equals 12 months. So you should know these before we start. Okay, let's start the video now.
How can you use multiplication and division to solve problems involving time? Think about this question during the lesson. Crystal is training for a race. She trains every day for 8 days. How many hours does Crystal train? Crystal spends an equal amount of time sprinting, walking, and jogging. How many minutes does Crystal spend on each activity during her 8 days of training? Find how many hours Crystal trains. How long does Crystal train each day? Crystal trains 2 3/4 hours per day. For how many days does Crystal train? She trains for 8 days. Find 8 times 2 3/4. What models could you use to represent and help find 8 times 2 3/4? You could use fraction strips or bar diagrams to represent and help solve the problem.
So let's try it.
Drag the fraction strips into the frames to represent 8 times 2 3/4.
So here, in each group, we have 2, 3/4, 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4. Okay, here we have 8 groups, in each group 2, 3/4. So in order to get the answer, you should multiply 8 times 2, 3/4. And this is, it shows you the fraction strips for 8 times 2, 3/4.
The expression 8 times 2 3/4 can be written 8 times, open parenthesis, 2 plus 3/4, close parenthesis. You can use the distributive property to help multiply.
So this is the distributive property when you multiply 8 times 2 plus, again, 8 times 3/4. Then you will find the partial products for each one, then you add the answers.
The partial products are 16 and 24/4. 24/4 equals 6. So the product is 16 plus 6, or 20.
So 24/4, which is equal to 6. Then 16 plus 6, which is equal to
22. Crystal trains for 22 hours. Find how many minutes Crystal spends on each activity during her training. What do you need to find first?
Select your answer.
So in order to find how many minutes Crystal spends on each activity during her training, so we should multiply 60 times 22.
Find 60 times 22. Why are the 22 hours Crystal spent training multiplied by 60? 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Since there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, multiply the 22 hours by 60 to find the number of minutes Crystal spends training. In 8 days, Crystal spends 1,320 minutes sprinting, walking, and jogging. Divide to find how many minutes Crystal spends on each activity. Find 1,320 divided by 3. 1,320 divided by 3 equals 440. In 8 days, Crystal spends 440 minutes on each activity.
Okay, let's move to the questions now. Question number 2, how many minutes are in 6 1/4 hours? As we know, in each hour we have 60 minutes, so we should multiply 60 times 6 1/4. Okay, so it will be 60 times using distributive property, or we can use 60 times, I will put this as a fraction, 4 times 6, 24, plus 1, 25/4. Then I will multiply 60 times 25. I will put it aside. 25 times 60. 0 times 5 equals 0. 0 times 2 equals 0. When I start with the tens, I will put a 0 here. Then 6 times 5 equals 30. 0 here and 3 up. 6 times 2 equals 12. Plus 3, 15. Then I add the answers or the products. 0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus 0, 0. Then 5, 1. 1,500 equals to 1,500 over 4. Then what I will do? Then I will divide 1,500 divided by 4. Four times what give me 15 or less? As we know, 4 times 3 equals 12 because 4 times 4 equals 16, more than 15. So 4 times 3 equals 12. 15 minus 12 equals to 3. Then I will put down the 0. 4 times what equal 30 or less? 4 times 8 equals to 32. 4 times 7 equals to 28. Then 30 minus 28 equals to 2. Then I'll put the 0 down. It will be 20. 4 times what give me 20? 4 times 5 equals 20. So 20 minus 20 equals 0. So 375, the answer. 375 minutes in 6 hours and 1/4. Question number 3. How many weeks are in 7,077 days? So as we know that we have 7 days in a week. So to know how many weeks in 7,077, we should divide 7,077 divide by 7 because each week 7 days. 7 times what give me 70 equals to 10 equals 70. Then 70 minus 70 equals to 0. I'll put the 7 down. 7 times what give me 7? 1 equals to 7. 7 minus 7, 0. Then I'll put the 7 down. 7 times what again give me 7? 7 times 1 equals 7. 7 minus 7, 0. So how many weeks are in 7,077 days? 1,011 weeks. Let's move to question number 4. For 4 to 7, add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Question number 4, 8 hours, 30 minutes plus 7 hours, 35 minutes. First of all, we always start adding on the right, which is the minutes. 30 plus 35 equals 65 minutes. 8 plus 7 hours equal 15 hours. And as we know that the minutes, each 60 minutes, 1 hour. So this will become 1 hour and 5 minutes. I will add the 1 hour to the 15. It will become 16 hours and 5 minutes. Okay, question number 12. Glenn and Grace work at a shoe store. Glenn worked 5 hours, 8 minutes. Grace worked 3 hours, 12 minutes. How much longer did Glenn work than Grace? Write and solve an equation to find the difference. So how much longer means we should subtract to know. So 5 hours, 8 minutes minus 3 hours, 12 minutes. Always when we want to subtract or add, we should start from the ones from the right. So 8 minutes minus 12, we cannot do it. So I will take 1 hour from the 5 hours. The 5 hours will be 4 hours, and 1 hour I will put it as a minutes. It will be 60 minutes. I will add it to the 8 minutes, will be 68 minutes. Now 68 minutes minus 12, 8 minus 2 equals to 6, and 6 minus 1 equal to 5. So 56 minutes. And how many hours? 4 minus 3 equals 1 hour. So 1 hour and 56 minutes.